50 à 40. Il faut dire les choses. On est déçus parce qu'on a perdu. On est déçus parce qu'on avait l'ambition de venir gagner ici. On s'était préparé pour. Mais sur le match, sur le scénario du match, la victoire est cohérente et logique. C'est normal que les Écossais aient remporté ce match. Ils ont fait un grand match. Ils nous ont pris dans les bases du rugby, dans les essentiels. Au moins 2 tiers du match. Au moins 2 tiers du match. Ensuite, le dernier tiers, il est pour nous. Mais ça ne suffit pas, puisqu'on reste à 10 points. Mais c'était une possibilité, on l'avait évoqué, qu'on pouvait perdre ici. Ça veut dire, on va dire, tout ce qui est conquête, engagement, agressivité, présence sur les ballons, présence collective sur les ballons à gagner en l'air ou au sol. Et puis aussi, il y a une équipe qui jouait en avançant avec la possession et une équipe qui jouait en reculant sans la possession.
Il y a eu une prise humide de terrain des Écossais.
Ils l'ont très bien fait. Ils l'ont très bien fait avec leur paire de centre 12-13, leur animation. Ouais.
Ça a été un enchaînement de faits. On a pris des pénalités, puis on a pris des points, puis on a pris des cartons jaunes, puis on a repris des essais. Donc au bout d'un moment, c'est dur de stopper l'hémorragie. On a eu à peu près vers la 50e ou 55e un peu regain d'énergie et d'intensité, mais toujours indiscipliné. Donc du coup, on restait constamment chez nous et on reprenait des points encore une fois. Donc on a mis beaucoup de temps à arriver à stopper ça et à mettre en place notre jeu pour nous marquer des points à notre tour, mais c'est sûr qu'on n'a pas su trouver les solutions assez tôt. Non, je n'ai pas eu de soucis physiques sur le match. J'ai fait 2 erreurs qui nous coûtent cher, évidemment. Donc ça reste des faits de jeu, mais c'est sûr que la performance, elle n'est pas là. Mais ça ne fera pas avancer le débat de toute façon de parler des performances individuelles. Il va falloir qu'on réfléchisse collectivement à ne pas se retrouver dans ces situations. Déjà, dès le début du match, sur la première mi-temps, on arrive à marquer sur deux faits de jeu un peu, mais on n'arrive pas à rivaliser avec eux, et comme je disais, on est indiscipliné, on subit toutes les collisions, et on n'a pas su se sortir de ça. Évidemment que nous, les charnières, moi au milieu, c'est ma responsabilité aussi. Donc il faudra qu'on travaille sur ça dès le week-end prochain.
Ou Antoine, d'ailleurs, il y a 6 ans, ici, on avait parlé de contagion négative pour expliquer cet enchaînement de faits négatifs. On a senti avoir vécu un peu la même chose. C'est quoi le point de départ pour vous de cet enchaînement de faits de jeu?
Si on reprend le match, ça commence par la conquête, la possession, et ensuite leur domination sur leur possession, on va dire sur la collision, le momentum, puis à nouveau le fait qu'ils récupèrent des pénalités parce qu'on se met à la faute, et petit à petit ils prennent le score, même si on a mené après avoir pris un essai rapidement, on a mené 14-7, me semble-t-il. C'est incroyable. Après, c'est des matchs, on se prépare à tout, et il peut arriver tout. Et aujourd'hui, il est arrivé beaucoup de choses. Ouais, c'est vrai. En tout cas, c'est pas faute de travailler dessus, c'est pas faute d'avoir compris que c'était une clé pour exister à ce niveau-là. C'est pas fait d'être, on est tous en phase avec ça. Les joueurs travaillent ardemment là-dessus, sont convaincus de la chose. Donc, c'est pas uniquement dans la discipline, il y a les gestes aussi, les gestes à faire, à bien maîtriser pour pas se retrouver en difficulté. On le travaille avec beaucoup d'applications. dit, aujourd'hui on a été pris, battu, on peut dire les choses concrètement. Ben, on aura le temps, on a une semaine. Donc là, à chaud, dans le rythme, entre le moment où on se retrouve, là, on est plutôt sur des pensées, on n'a pas le temps. Voilà. Mais c'est clair qu'on est premier encore au classement. Donc on a la possibilité de gagner la compétition. Et ça, c'est la vérité. Et les joueurs, en tout cas, sont allés le chercher, ce droit-là, parce qu'il fallait chercher le bonus offensif, ça allait marquer 4 essais. Et les joueurs, lorsque l'écart était grand, on était à 2 essais. Et les joueurs sont allés chercher donc 6 essais. Donc on est passé de 2 à 6 essais, notamment avec la très très bonne rentrée des finisseurs, et qui ont redonné de l'énergie à l'équipe et qui a permis à l'équipe de marquer 4 essais en... j'ai pas le décompte, vous avez sûrement un peu de temps, et à revenir à 10 points. Donc on était à revenir à 10 points. Donc c'est pas pour contrebalancer par rapport au fait qu'on soit déçu. On est déçu. On voulait faire beaucoup mieux. On était très ambitieux et on comprend la déception de nos supporters et on la partage. Mais on est en course pour gagner la compétition. Il nous reste un match à Paris samedi soir au Stade de France. Vivre des choses comme ça, c'est notre quotidien. On sait qu'on doit passer par là aussi pour traverser ce niveau international et ces compétitions. Là aussi, je crois que les joueurs ils savent faire la part des choses. En tout cas, nous, on sait la faire tous ensemble et on l'a partagé. Donc, je pense pas. Honnêtement, je pense pas. Je crois pas. On n'a pas vraiment été surpris. Honnêtement, on n'a pas vraiment été surpris. Et sauf qu'on n'a pas réussi à faire ce qu'on avait décidé de faire, mais toujours pareil, ça commence déjà par la conquête, le fait qu'ils vont pouvoir se projeter vers l'avant, et ensuite, on n'a pas vraiment été surpris par ce qu'ils nous ont fait, mais ils l'ont bien fait et ils nous ont mis en difficulté, notamment leur milieu de terrain, ouais. La translation entre conquête et la passe ou les deux passes qui amènent au milieu de terrain. Ouais, autour du porteur de balle qui était au milieu de terrain, ouais, c'est ça. Des espaces ou bien la place de dominer la collision et d'enchaîner derrière. Ouais. C'était très très bien fait. Très très bien fait.
Vous aviez bloqué pendant plusieurs jours, vous avez repris avec des joueurs un peu blessés, malades, des soucis au mollet à droite à gauche. C'est imputable au manque de rythme qu'on a pu ressentir?
Je cherche pas. Je pense qu'il faut. On a pris des décisions avec les joueurs. C'est possible, mais en tout cas, c'était pas les signaux qu'on avait dans la préparation. Mais c'est une possibilité à partir du moment où tu perds, tu dois mesurer, regarder tout ce qui s'est passé pour faire mieux. Anthony était déçu parce que lui il se sentait bien, mais il n'a pas réussi à répondre positivement au protocole, donc ça c'est la règle. Nicolas, ça ressemble plus à une luxation, donc ça semble un peu plus grave.
C'est tout bon? Merci.
Merci.
Sione section, so we'll do all English questions, then the ones at the end for Sione in French. He'll lead, and then we'll have Gregor.
Looks like someone's drunk that.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So questions for Sione first, and any questions in French will lead to the end of the section with Sione. He'll lead, and then the floor will be open for Gregor. So if we can take the first questions for Sione, please.
Proud day for us, but I think also one we've been building towards, and also one that maybe if you'd been on our training ground, not that we expected, but we felt what we were capable of, and I just couldn't be proud of not necessarily like the big scoring moments, but the way we reacted to moments. You know, I thought when I got stripped by Dupont and they scored, the way the boys rallied around me as well. After that shows what type of team we are, and it's a proud day for me as captain, but more just like I'm just really proud to be leading a group of guys like that, the ones that rally around each other, rally around our coach, as we've done since, you know, the start of the tournament, and just, yeah, rally around each other. I'm proud to be part of it. Yeah, we've given ourselves an opportunity. It's something a Scotland team hasn't done before, is go get into the last week with everything to play for, and I think I credit the other leaders as well. The way that we've kind of attacked these Six Nations mentally is just 1 week at a time, truly. And I know it's easy to say that up here, but that's really how we've attacked it. And I think that was forced upon us a little bit after the Italy week. But the way the leaders have just kept our feet on the ground week after week, it's no different this week. We keep our feet on the ground. We know it was a good win for us, but we'll take the confidence from it, and that's it, and just get back to the training field. That's what's been giving us the most pay. We felt like the training that our non-23 guys have been preparing us has put us in good positions for each game.
You said yesterday that you shouldn't be afraid to be behind, nor should you be afraid to be ahead.
Mm-hmm.
When you were ahead, big lead, you kept going from the jugular. Can you talk about that kind of relentless nature that you have?
Yeah, definitely. Think again, I agree with the other leaders. Just what the identity we've been building towards for this championship is just. I think today was more about us being us, and probably less about us winning or losing the game. That was my challenge to the group yesterday when I spoke in the change room before captain's run. Is just got to relieve up the pressure of winning or losing this game. Let's just go out and be us, and I felt like that was enough for us to win this game, and it proved to be. We were ourselves out there. We were aggressive with our play calling. We had penalties. We didn't take threes. We went to the corner, and we pressed the issue with a good French team that I felt like maybe threes weren't going to be enough against a team like that can, as we saw, score in bunches quickly. So, yeah, I felt like we lived and died by our identity today.
Given the nature of the game, it was so frantic, it was so brilliant. You conceded, I think, 4 penalties. I mean, we marvel at what you did with the ball in hand, but have that discipline sitting beside all that is kind of astonishing.
Yeah, I really want to credit our pack, man. Like the effort that went into that game from a pack perspective, the way that French forward pack had been rolling that first 3 weeks of the championship, going back to the autumn, the work our forward pack had to do today is probably part of that as well, where they got to breakdowns over and over and over again against a high jackling team. They carried well. We won our set piece. Scrum was good in the first half, wasn't it? We drained penalties from them. I just want to credit the pack on in terms of the penalty count. A lot of that stuff usually happens in the forward pack, so I credit them. Yeah, we have momentum, definitely, and the belief has been there since before the tournament. I don't know, maybe that's hard for you guys to see, but I've been inside the change room. I've been in the meetings and listening to Gregor talk and listening to the other coaches talk, and we have an airtight change room that believes not just after this game, but before this game as well. And we've got to take that for one final week of the championship. We've got one more job to do. Not really, because the boys that we had coming on just brought that energy. You know, the boys that came on, we had a few injuries in the forward pack. The boys that came on raised the level. We had forwards playing in our back line that weren't exposed. With TJ coming on and me feeding off his energy, it was just kind of like a snowball effect. When we were getting out there and doing our things right, we were getting points, and points easily, to be honest. So I feel like that should give us a lot of confidence. Affects psychology, not a lot, to be honest, because it's the game, and you play against good players like Dupont and other boys that are out there for that French team. Those things are going to happen, but I thought that Demo made a really good point this week about playing a team like this is they're going to make plays, and your mindset should be when they make plays, here I come and I'm going to make a play in response, and that's what we did all day long. Every time they made a play, we made a play back, and that's how you win games like that. I think Darji, because I feel safe with him inside, but he can tackle anything. Cheers, bro.
And any questions in French?
What?
Vous aviez clairement ciblé le.
Est-ce que vous pouvez juste parler un petit peu plus fort?
Vous aviez clairement ciblé le film français, le milieu de terrain. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous expliquer les détails de cette stratégie?
So you clearly targeted the midfield for the, in the French team. So could you tell us a little bit more about your strategy there?
Yeah, to be honest, I knew that the middle of the field is a really strong part of their team. You know, you've got the Bordeaux contingent of Jalabert, who's been playing some of the best rugby in the world. Moefana, who's been a good centre for years for them, and he has the chemistry with Deportier. But I can't remember the last time I got to a rugby game and thought they were better 10, 12, 13 playing than me, Finn and Shug. And that's just my mentality. It's not always goes our way, but that's my mentality when I go to a rugby game, is that I don't think other players are better than Finn or other players are better than Shug. That's just my mentality when I get to the game. And yeah, I'm proud of the way those two played today.
Donc oui, on savait en fait que le midfield, comme vous dites, c'est vraiment un endroit où les Français sont bons. Donc en particulier avec ceux qui jouent par exemple à Bordeaux. Puis on connaît très bien Jalibert, Moefana. Donc c'est vrai que c'est quelque chose qu'on a pris en compte. Et ma mentalité, c'est vraiment de se dire qu'il n'y a pas un joueur qui est mieux qu'un autre et de vraiment aborder les différents joueurs. Mais je suis très fière de la façon dont mes joueurs ont joué.
Thank you, guys.
You never know how a game's going to pan out. I did feel that the weather conditions, what we were set up to do, would get opportunities. The evidence was there last year when we played them in Paris, especially in that first half. And obviously at home, I think momentum, you can stack moments. It becomes more difficult for the away team if you're piling on pressure with how you're playing. So yeah, look, it was tremendous, and I think the second half, that third quarter, was another step up to continue how we were playing, to put pressure on France as they were opening up the game even more. They obviously play an off-loading game, and we felt there was errors in them, but when they're behind, they're going to have to force things. So that was as good as that first half, but probably even better because of the mental challenge of being ahead and still being relentless in how we were playing. Yeah, look, I'll let you guys decide that. It was a very good day, but it's round 4 of the tournament. It's not a standalone game. There's been other games where it's probably meant a lot to the group because of whether it was a response or we hadn't broken a record, winning away from home in Paris or Wales or beating England for the first time for a number of years, so they maybe are ones that have more significance. This is very significant, but just now it's round 4 and it gives us a chance to be in round 5. Yeah, it definitely is. Like, the players drive our performance, they drive it during the week, and they drive it on the field. And to not get blindsided, have second thoughts, because we're playing well during that period. And there's a bit of bad luck with, obviously, a rip in the floor. But yeah, very proud. And I look at you get a feel, and it's not more than that, it's much more than a feel. You get evidence on where the team has grown from experiences that we've had, and obviously the Argentina experience was a painful one, and it was the changes we had to make in a group were more about the mindset and dealing with momentum swings, and that was our big focus. And you sometimes don't get the opportunities to show that, but Cardiff was a great opportunity, and the week before against England we were ahead and kept the momentum going and finished stronger. But Cardiff was evidence to the players of what we believe and what they're believing, and what we're talking about is we can handle those momentum swings. But it's the players on the field that deliver that, and they delivered it today. Yeah, look, I think they would have relished it anyway before today. It's great to have another opportunity to play. I've been in sides where you're on a roll and things are going really well, and international teams in particular, and then suddenly the season finishes and you have to wait 3 or 4 months before the next game. So I know they can't wait to play. They might not be looking forward to training as much after today's game, but we know that that's where our success is built. It's in the training field, in our meetings, and we've got a difficult challenge. Probably has been the most difficult challenge for us. But maybe any other Six Nations team over the last 5 to 10 years going to Dublin and getting a victory, and we know we'll have to build that win and play as well as we did today to get the win. I thought it was just 6, so okay. 7, was it? Yeah, sorry. Someone was telling me it was 3 tries in the first half, 3 tries in the second half. I forgot we scored another one as well. So.
Did you learn, 7 tries, 50 points, unbelievable. Did you learn anything about them today? At that level, to get that level, were you surprised by anything you delivered?
Not surprised. Of course, there's an element of surprise with a score line or it's at your limit of expectations, and you don't think score lines when you select a team, or where you're in the coaching box at the anthems waiting to see the team play. You just look forward to them delivering what you know they can deliver. So the ability to keep on going, to keep being ambitious, and Sione touched on too, to be so good in the contact area. Like, attacks are not about individual players. They're not about coaching strategies. A lot of them about is getting that ball out of the contact area. And France obviously tried to jackal hard. I think they had them in Ireland are the team that's won the most jackals so far in this tournament. So to be able to deliver that was very impressive. And the pack are a big part of that. I thought our wide rucks were excellent too. Like, they go hard at counter rucks on the wide rucks. Our backs were also very good in that area. But the forwards carry a lot in our shape, and to do that on the back of outstanding maul defence, outstanding maul attack, and outstanding scrum just shows what this forward pack and the individuals and the coaching that goes into it, how they can deliver that against the big packs in the world. And I've seen it before. A team should not be judged on wins and losses. It should be judged on performances. And our forward pack stood up last year in Paris in much more difficult circumstances, team going for the title, I think they'd beaten Italy by 70 points the week before. They put in 40 on Ireland, and our forward pack stood up there. Now they get the rewards that they stand up, and it leads to a really good win. Well, Cal Stein told me he's fine, so well, I hope he's right, because he's on a pretty good run of form. He was amazing today again, and the best thing he did, it involved his injury, like that hustle back to try and stop a French try, whether there was one or two forward passes in there, we don't know, but just that effort for your teammate. Obviously, we were well ahead in the scoreboard, but that was great to see. He's got a deep cut, so let's hope it heals. I want to mention Jack Dempsey, who not only got himself back to playing this game, a really big game for us, but was outstanding. Probably played his best game of the tournament, and doing that with not 100%. We know that was great to see, but I think he'll be fine. Today would give him a lot of confidence that he can play a physical game and play 80 minutes. I think the other two might be tougher ones. So sorry, I think Gregor Brown's hamstring issue. So I would think he wouldn't turn that round. And Scott Cummings' calf. Sometimes these can be neural, and what they feel is a torn calf or a torn hamstring might not be what we fear, but it looks like. Certainly Gregor will be out, and we'll see about Scott over the next few days.
So you only touched on the set piece, Gregor. Coming into this tournament, there was maybe talks over the scrum being a weakness for Scotland, but potentially over the past few games, it's probably been one of your biggest strengths.
Well, I would argue that's not the case. I think it would have been a strength, given that we won a lot of penalties against New Zealand and Argentina in November. We didn't have as good a scrum display against Italy as we would have liked, but Italy have shown in that game and other games that they're probably the best scrum around right now. So the forwards have worked really hard with Peter. He's done a great job, and the scrum penalty we won down in Cardiff, how we delivered the scrum today with obviously a different tight head involved, it's a real credit to Peter, but also the players. And again, I mentioned Jack Dempsey, I mentioned Darcy Ray. I thought the job he was asked to do was around the scrum, but also the contact area. The work he put into that half hour just set a great platform for Xander to come on and be involved a lot more in the carrying, which he did.
You're playing very wee bit. You managed to do this result, but joint leaders were in the final day of the championship. Never happened before in the Six Nations era. I mean, that's quite a turnaround, isn't it?
Quite a turnaround from the first match. Yeah, but yeah, I think we probably wouldn't have thought we'd be in this position after the first match. To get bonus points against some quality teams. Obviously, I think England and France were probably in the top three in the world coming into this tournament. Certainly when they played us, to get 4 and 7 tries. To get maximum points was great. So yeah, we've given ourselves an opportunity. It's probably not all in our hands because France will play after us, but I think the game itself will just make sure we target that game and do all we can to win, and then see what happens after. Yeah, he was. He's obviously had an Achilles injury in the past. That's why he missed November, so he was feeling it a little bit. He stayed on, and then we decided to take him off. I was more reluctant to bring the bench on today just because of the injuries we had, and Josh Bailey's covering the second row. But given Hugh, we had to bring him on, and then who got injured after that? Kyle Stein. So we obviously had to change things with Rory going to the centre, and the bench did a good job as well. I think it was difficult at that period with France, the weight they had on the field, how they were playing from everywhere, but we got an error out of them. Jack Dempsey got a great intercept, and yeah, we did concede a couple of tries, but the effort was still there right to the end. He should be okay, yeah.
You spoke a few minutes about Josh Bales as your back. I mean, have you done anything with Rory at centre at all?
No, because I was saying on the mic, let's get Matt Fagerson to centre, and I think rightly I think that would have maybe the balance in a back row with Rory and Freddie around line out might not have helped as much. So they said Rory go to centre, so he seemed fine there.
significance, but in terms of performance, where does that rank?
Yeah, look, I probably need to look at it again, but at the time watching it, to see we got a lot of attacking opportunities, and a lot of that's because we attacked from deep. I thought the way we managed the game, we were kicking into that sunny corner from deep, so there's a bit of there's ambition there. There's ambition to play, and we carried on playing. So yeah, it's that is very pleasing, very encouraging. Defensively, we're up against the best attack in the world, supposedly, coming into today's game, so that they're going to put you under pressure, but I don't think they scored a point for maybe 30, 40 minutes, so we'll take a lot of confidence out of how we defended. But sometimes the best form of defence is your attack, and keeping hold of the ball, getting penalties of the opposition, going to the corner, coming up with mauls that either were scoring tries or giving an opportunity to the backs was great to see. And I think we went for the jugular at times. When they were a man down, we called the right plays to get to space to put France under pressure. Sione mentioned the forward pack. I know we talked about Scrum earlier, but in terms of what we did in the line out, like to stop their maul, to set our backs up for starter plays, but also deliver a really good maul. That's what our forwards can do.
How aware were you in those final 10 minutes as a coaching staff that the players are trying to limit stop bonus point for France?
Yeah, I think we got the message on, but Pete Horn, who runs messages, said Sione already talked about it, and yeah, I think it was more difficult just with the changes we'd made, or obviously the injuries we picked up, but I was really proud of that. The effort to try and stop them get that bonus point, and it means that we're equal points with France, so like, someone's going to have to do something next week. If we both win, it's who gets a bonus point out of that, but I think that's the way in the future. I think we'll focus on how we put a game plan together and how we build a training week so we can give our best shot of Ireland to win. Well, they're very good against England. They've won their last 3, have they? Yeah, so they've won 3 in a row, so they'll be full of confidence. They've got some outstanding individuals who have started for the Lions. They've played really well against us. They seem to raise their game against us. I know sometimes we've not played as well, but they've definitely played some of their best rugby against us. 2 years ago, we delivered a real physical performance, and we were in the game for most of it, and we did have a chance at the end, but they were deserving winners. But that's a physicality we'll need. We'll need huge effort. I think you will see next week that there's going to be some fatigued teams. Like if you play 5 test matches in 6 weeks, the game will open up. So let's hope it does open up. It's been a great championship so far, and I think that we feel that suits our game. But if it's a tight game, we'll have to make sure our defence and what our forwards are doing is at the top level.
Last question here.
Sorry.
Vos semaines d'entraînement, les Français étaient en vacances la semaine dernière, ils se sont peu entraînés cette semaine pour diverses raisons. Vous êtes entraînés justement très dur, notamment la semaine où il n'y avait pas de match. Est-ce que
On avait qu'un jour ensemble, 2 jours ensemble, oui, la semaine avant. Oui.
c'est déjà plus? Peut-être entraînement ou intensité, je ne sais pas. Est-ce que ça
Non.
va faire la différence?
Non, c'était cette semaine, pas la semaine précédente. C'était bon d'avoir une séance d'entraînement, mais ce n'était pas très intense.
T'as le sentiment que les Français nous ont pris de haut, quelque part, aujourd'hui?
Encore
C'est péché d'orgueil, quoi.
Non. On a beaucoup de respect pour cette équipe, leur façon de jouer, leurs joueurs, leurs entraîneurs. Et des fois, le match est très ouvert. Et ça nous plaît. Non, ça marche pour nous, un match comme ça. Mais nous, on a joué un très, très haut niveau aujourd'hui. On arrive à construire une action après une autre action, pénalité après pénalité. C'était bon pour nous, surtout les cartons jaunes. C'était bon? Ok, merci.
Murray.